an original.
From Story Studio Network.
Welcome to The Fatigue Fixer, the podcast where we get real about why you're so tired and what you can do about it. Every 2 weeks, we'll gather here for honest, heart-to-heart conversations about reclaiming your energy, your patience, and feeling truly at home in your body. I'm Dr. Sarah Vedmonkar, a naturopathic doctor, Menopause Society certified practitioner, Enneagram 3 entrepreneur with enough business ideas to last me 10 lifetimes, and a hockey and baseball mom. Over the past 15 years, I've helped thousands of women just like you cut through the confusion and finally feel like themselves again. And now, I want to hear from you too. Use the link in the show notes below to leave me a voicemail, to share your story, give feedback on an episode, ask a question, or tell me what's been exhausting you. And your voice might even make it onto the show. Together, we'll get to the root of what's really draining your energy and give you the tools, clarity, and encouragement you need to fix your fatigue. I hope you enjoy today's episode. There's a question I can't stop thinking about. If women spent our money the way we spend our energy, would we be okay financially? Or would we be completely broke? Because I see this all the time with women, especially high-achieving women. We give and we give and we give to everyone and everything that needs anything from us, plus a whole bunch of people who never asked for our help, but that we have decided would not be able to make it through life without our help and assistance. We say yes to everything, every coffee date, every request at work, every volunteer opportunity. Overfunctioning is our baseline. And if you're not sure what overfunctioning is or whether that's something you do, go back to episode 37, which is the one where you stop doing everything for your kids. And we worship at the altar of productivity. I literally wrote those words down recently. Productivity is my drug of choice. Underline. Because I will overcommit and overschedule myself every single time if I'm not being extremely thoughtful and mindful about protecting my time and energy. And then, after doing all of this, we wonder, why are we exhausted all the time? And it's not just that you're tired, it's that you're in energy debt. Energy debt is the result of chronic overspending and under-saving. And energy debt is not going to be fixed by eating more protein or getting a good night's sleep or having a day at the spa with your girlfriend. It requires an honest assessment of who and what you are giving your energy to and seeing where you're overspending. And a radical willingness to value your time, yourself, and your energy enough to pour back into yourself. It requires that you stop letting other people dictate your life and your schedule, and yes, that includes your kids, and that you start caring enough about yourself to offer yourself all of the rest and the beautiful and meaningful opportunities and things that you make possible for everybody else in your life, but that you have somehow convinced yourself that you don't have time for, you don't have money for, or you just plainly are not worthy of. But you are worthy of it. You deserve to have an abundance of energy to fuel the life that you have created for yourself. We have worked so hard to get here. Think of all the hard work that you have done to create this life that you are now sitting in, the life that you were so excited to have, the one that you wanted so desperately. And now a lot of us are here. We have arrived. And yet we are trudging through it, tired, resentful, and unfulfilled. I want your energy accounts to matter to you as much as your bank account, right? What is the point of having all this money if you feel like shit every day? I would want to feel better to be able to actually use the money that I'm working hard to get and to save. And that is how you create energy wealth. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. Because most of us think of energy like it's one thing, right? It's like, well, I'm tired. What's really happening is that you have 4 different energy accounts. And when one of them is empty or drained, it impacts the others. And I want to help you understand where you are depleted so that you know exactly what to do to fix it. So as I go through these 4 energy accounts, I want you to see if one of the things that I'm describing feels especially familiar to you. Your first energy account is your body energy. And I think this is the classic kind of tired that most of us think about. This is usually when we're tired, we assume that it's physical, right? We assume that there's something wrong with our body. And body fatigue feels like literally wanting to lie down or take a nap. It feels like a heavy body and heavy limbs, right? Maybe even just climbing the stairs just feels like too much work some days. Maybe you feel like you're walking through mud. Maybe you don't have the physical capacity that you normally do. Maybe your workouts actually leave you feeling more tired and exhausted and sore. This is your body's way of saying, I need literal rest. So when your body is tired, this is physical fatigue. You feel it literally in your physical body. Your second account is your brain energy. Now, this is the kind of tired that will often show up at work or at the end of the day when you're trying to just push through and get a couple more things checked off your list. What mental fatigue looks like, which a lot of women suffer from, is forgetfulness. I have Post-it notes everywhere. I have Post-it notes stuck to my front door if I need to remember to bring something. This is trouble concentrating. This is reading the same email 3 times, right? Mental fatigue looks like being less productive, even though you're putting in more effort. And my personal favorite, I know that I am mentally exhausted when my partner asks me what I want to eat for dinner, and I look at him with a blank, dead stare, because I'm like, how dare you ask me to make a decision right now? I cannot do that. I have made 4 trillion decisions today, and I don't want to be asked what I want to eat for dinner. I want someone else to decide and make it so I can just sit down and eat my food. So when you are forgetful and you can't focus and you get so annoyed when anyone asks you what is for dinner, this is your brain saying, I cannot take in one more thing. I'm full. I've worked hard. Please leave me alone. Your third account is your heart energy. This is a big one for a lot of us. And emotional fatigue looks like irritability. It looks like losing your patience and losing your shit. It looks like snapping at your kid when they have the audacity to act like a kid and do very kid things, but you have 0 tolerance for that. It is crying at the drop of a hat for no apparent reason. It's feeling like you're on edge all the time and feeling like you have no buffer left. If anything goes wrong, you're going to have a very strong reaction to that, whether it's crying, getting super angry and irritable, feeling very anxious. This is your heart trying to tell you, I'm carrying too much. And last but not least, we have our spirit energy. And this is the quietest one. I think this is the one that's easiest to miss because we think of it as like a nice to have in some future day where all of my troubles go away. I can worry about my spirit. And spiritual fatigue looks like feeling disconnected from yourself and others. So maybe you're finding that you feel very disconnected in your relationship. Maybe you have, again, created this like amazing life that looks amazing on paper, but you're just going through the motions, right? On the outside, it looks good. You don't understand why you don't feel good in it, but you're kind of just going through the motions. You don't really feel lit up by anything, right? Maybe things that you used to love, you're like, meh, I could take it or leave it. You might be questioning your purpose, and that sounds a lot like, what's the point? Why am I doing this? What is the point of doing all of this? Why am I doing this work? What is the point? What is the point? And a lot of women, and I know because I ask them in our appointments, I love asking women, what brings you joy? And I love it because some women know right away, and some women look at me like I've just asked them a very complicated math equation. They have no idea. They don't even know where to start. They have not spent any time doing things that make them happy or hobbies. Like they've just completely ignored and erased that part of themselves. This is your spirit saying, I need something more meaningful. I love that you checked all the boxes. You did all the things you were told to do. That's great. But I need something more. I need something more meaningful. I think that when women are tired and we're fatigued, we assume that there is something wrong with us, right? Like, why can't I handle it? Why can't I do all the things my friend Susan does? Like, she seems like she's got it all under control. What is wrong with me? Why can't I do the things? Spoiler, Susan is not okay. She might just be easier at masking and looking okay on the outside, but most of us are not actually okay. And a lot of times it's this very uncomfortable feeling because, again, you're like, I did all the things that I wanted and I did all the things that I thought was going to make me happy. And now I feel like there's still something missing. So then we feel like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I be happy? Why can't I be satisfied and content with what I have? But when I look at most women's lives, I am not surprised or shocked in the least that we are tired. We are walking around from the second we wake up. We wake up and we turn into a human ATM machine. And we just give to everyone and everything. We're making withdrawals. We are making it rain everywhere for anyone who needs us. And again, even the people who never asked for help, but we feel it is our duty to take care of them. We're walking around giving everyone and everything our energy. We're making withdrawals every day. And then we get to the end of the day and we're like, why am I so tired? Why do I feel so broke? You're broke because you give too much. And you have learned by no accident that it is selfish for you to take time to replenish. Are you tired of being told everything is normal, even though you're exhausted and don't feel like yourself? You deserve better care than that. In my one-on-one practice, I help women just like you do a deep dive to figure out what's really draining your energy. Together, we'll get answers and create a clear, personalized plan to help you start feeling like yourself again. If you live in Ontario or the Outaouais region and you're ready for the next step, visit drsarahv.ca to learn more and book your appointment today. Because being tired all the time isn't normal, and you don't have to keep pushing through it. What most of us don't need is to push harder. We need to plug back in. We need to save. We need to spend a little bit less. We need to sit in the discomfort of what that's going to feel like, especially in the beginning. And so part of what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause for a moment and I want you to think about those 4 energy accounts that I just described. And I want you to rate how full or empty they are on a scale of 0 to 10. So 0 being like, that account is very empty, I'm in overdraft, and 10 being like, I got savings for a rainy day, I have so much energy in that department, I'm good. I want you to rate each of those accounts on a scale of 0 to 10. So how is your body energy? How is your brain energy? Your heart energy? And your spirit energy. And I want you to not overthink it because, God, we're good at doing that. I want you to just go with like your gut. What number comes up? Don't judge it. Don't overthink it. Just see what comes up. And if you're like most of us, one of those numbers is probably lower than the other. And this is where we can take action. And when I say to take action, what I do not mean is to overhaul your whole life. You don't have to change your job. You don't need to leave your partner. You don't need to move to the ocean. You don't need a 12-step morning routine. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. You don't need more discipline, because God knows most of us have been disciplined since the 4th grade. I just need you to start making small but consistent deposits back into the account that is most depleted, right? And that is your very simple but consistent energy wealth plan. Just like if you have a goal of spending money, you're probably doing 2 things. You're spending less money, right? You're not walking around like an ATM all day long. And you're putting more money into your account. And that is the exact same principle that we can use to build energy wealth. We have to take a radically honest look at who we're giving our energy away to and make sure that it is aligned with the people and the things that we value and that we want to give our energy away to. Because most women I talk to, especially if we have children or friends or partners, we feel really terrible when we get home at the end of the day and our family is getting the breadcrumbs, right? I literally, we have a joke at my house that after 8 p.m., I turn into mean mommy. My son knows this. He kind of likes it sometimes, so I'm not doing it quite right. But after 8 p.m., I'm done. I'm mentally done. I'm physically done. I'm exhausted. I've been up since 6:30. I've done all the things. I've done a lot of peopling. I'm done. So if you want some of your good energy to be left over for the people and the things that matter to you, you can't go and overspend and overgive to every single person that you encounter in your day. Because by the time you get home, you're going to be empty. And the people you love are getting your not nice energy, right? That's why we get so irritable and cranky and all the things and we don't know what the hell we want for dinner. All you need to do is get into the practice of checking into these 4 accounts. How's my body? How's my brain? How's my heart? How's my spirit? And then you pick one small action that you can do. Not tomorrow, not in 3 months when tax season is over, not when you're on vacation, now, in your real life. And I want you to think literally something that takes 10 minutes or less. Again, I'm not asking you to overhaul, change your whole life. I'm asking you to make a small deposit on a more regular basis. That's it. So I'll give you some examples. If you notice that your body is the most tired part of you, maybe you go for a walk. Maybe you go have a drink of water. Maybe you make sure that you eat lunch around the lunchtime. Maybe you stretch. If your brain is tired, maybe you close your laptop. Maybe you turn off the 4 million notifications flying across your screen all day long. Maybe you do this radical thing called taking a break. You should try it. It's magical. And maybe you stop multitasking, because multitasking is not a thing. All you're doing is rapidly switching back and forth between different things, and your brain is exhausted by that. It takes a ton of brain energy to multitask, and I'm using massive air quotes because you can't do 2 things at once. If your heart is tired, text a friend. I have this beautiful new thing I'm doing with my 3 best friends from university where every Sunday we send each other 3 pictures from our phone from that week. And that's our way of staying connected. It's our way of updating our lives without it taking forever. And it's been such a lovely way to stay connected with these friends who live very far away from me, so I don't get to see them very often, right? Maybe you read a poem. Maybe you say no to something. Try it. It's amazing. And then if your spirit is tired, maybe you go outside. Nature is so healing and so wonderful. But you're going to go outside without your phone. I know this is hard. I suggested this lately to a group of women in perimenopause to go outside for a walk. And the women looked like they wanted to murder me. That was the most outrageous thing they had ever heard. Okay? If you have never gone for a walk without listening to something, try it. It's great for all the parts, but especially your brain and your spirit. Maybe you're going to listen to music nothing moves me more than live music, but also just listening to really loud music in my ears and singing along. Maybe you're going to read something that isn't about productivity or self-development. I've been pretty much exclusively reading novels lately, and it's just such a nice thing. I want to remind you that your energy is one of your most valuable resources, right? Just like we make money so important, your energy also is very important. And right now, some of us are spending it like it is unlimited, right? Like we have an unlimited amount of money. And I say this all the time, right? Most of us, when we get paid, have to budget that money for the next 2 weeks. We can't go and blow it all on day one, because then we would have a real hard time making it through until the next paycheck. It's the same with your energy. However much energy you wake up with, if you go and you spend it all in the first 2 hours, the rest of your day is going to suck. Right? So we need to stop spending our energy like it's an unlimited resources, and we need to stop believing that other people have unlimited access to our energy. They really shouldn't. And energy is not an unlimited resource. But the good news is it's a renewable resource. We have opportunities every single day to create and regenerate more energy. And we can do that very quickly. Like I said, you don't need to overhaul your whole life. You could literally do this in 10 minutes a day. One small deposit at a time, and being more discerning about, again, who and what you are spending your energy on. So here's what I want you to take away from today. I want you to pick one thing. I know your super high achiever brain is listening, being like, I'm going to do all the things. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go for the walk. I'm going to take breaks. I'm going to eat more protein. No, you're not. You're going to pick one thing that puts energy back into the account that is most depleted, and you're going to start there. And you're going to do it today. Again, not in some magical future where you have all the time in the world. That day is not coming. Because this is not, again, about doing a radical thing, becoming a new person, improving yourself, finding a new routine. Because you're not actually broken. Again, you're not doing anything wrong. You are doing what the vast majority of us have seen other women do. And we are doing what we are often rewarded for, which is sacrificing our time, our energy, and our health in service of others. And service of others is beautiful, but not when the cost is your sanity, your health, your bank account, your wellness. That is not love. That is not generosity when you are overpouring all of your energy into other people. I want you to think about what your energy wealth plan needs today. And again, just pick one small thing to begin with. And when you've decided what you're going to do, I would love to hear from you. If you're willing to come find me on Instagram and send me a DM and tell me which energy account you're going to build more wealth in. Is it your body, your brain, your heart, or your spirit? Because again, you are worthy of energy. You are worthy of rest. You are worthy of having time for your friends and your hobbies. You are worthy of having the life that you are facilitating and enabling for everyone that you love. Thanks for listening. I'll see you right back here in 2 weeks. I know your time is precious, so it means so much to me that you're here. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a woman in your life who could use a little extra energy and encouragement today. It's a small way to show her you care, because we're all in this together. Wondering what the next step is? Find out what's really draining your energy by taking my fatigue fingerprint quiz at fatiguefixer.ca/quiz. You'll discover which of the 5 most common types of fatigue you're dealing with, like frazzled fatigue, where your body's exhausted but your mind won't turn off, or drained fatigue, where no amount of sleep ever feels like enough. Your results will include recommended labs to ask your doctor about, plus my top suggestions for habits and practices that can help you start feeling more rested, calm, and in control. Because here's the thing, being tired all the time isn't normal, and you deserve to feel like yourself again. And hey, if you've got a story to share, a question, or just something on your mind, leave me a voicemail. Your voice might even make it into a future episode. Thanks again for listening, and remember, it's not all in your head. I believe you, and we'll figure this out together. I'll see you right back here in 2 weeks.
This is SSN.
Story Studio Network.